Hello and welcome to this video about the Pythagorean theorem, in which we're going to recap some of the basics that you learned about it last year. This is going to be a two-parter, so right here is part one. So to start things off, let's remember what the Pythagorean theorem is. It is a conditional statement, and that the way the conditional statement works is that if we have a right triangle, so it's got to have that fancy little box that means it's a right triangle, we can take the side lengths and it follows this rule. We can take the two legs, a and b, we can square each of them, a squared plus b squared, and we can set that equal to the square of that last one, which is c. Now, c has a special vocabulary name that goes with it, and that is hypotenuse. And so if you see that word, they're talking about the longest one. And then these we just tend to call legs. And sometimes we'll differentiate them, say short leg, long leg, but really it doesn't matter, it's a leg. And what the Pythagorean theorem helps us or allows us to do is essentially play the solving game. So you'll be given two of the three side lengths, and you'll have to find the third one by using the Pythagorean theorem right here. So let's do that. Let's walk through an example of how we might do that. So here we have a picture of a triangle. I like this example because it shows us that these might not always be kind of drawn like I drew that earlier, and later I will draw them like this. The triangle can be rotated, and we have to think, what do we have here? And so this is the hypotenuse, and this is what we don't know. We need to find it. Well, we'll use the Pythagorean theorem to do that. So I'll take my two side lengths, 4 and 5, square them, add them together, and set it equal to my unknown. And I can use whatever variable I want. I could use c squared, h squared, x squared. It doesn't really matter. But the thing is, I need to solve for that unknown. And so here I'll get 16 plus 25 is equal to h squared. 16 plus 25 is 41. And then that equals h squared. And the trick is at this point is to now take the square root. So you have to, kind of condense the numbers to one number. Then you take the square root of both sides. And so over here, I can put into this box, the way this one's set up, the missing side length is also the square root of 41. I hit enter. And then I can go up to the missing side length and find out what the square root of 41 is. And so let me see here, I need a calculator for that. Square root 41 is 6.403. And now I'll check my answer. Perfect. Awesome. And so if we needed to, we can repeat this process, but now it's just with different side lengths and whatnot, but the process would remain the same. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing here, but this would be 2 squared plus 5 squared is equal to h squared. And I'd go through the process and I'd arrive at a similar answer. Now, I'm going to do another example of this one because I want to show you yet a different example, which is something like this one right here. So actually, let me get this one from scratch, do a new problem. All right, now this one's great because we don't actually have a picture. We have to draw it. We're told, that there is a right triangle, okay? One leg is 2 centimeters, hypotenuse is 4 centimeters. So draw your right triangle. Make sure you indicate it's a right triangle. Hypotenuse is the longest side, so that's got to be 4 according to the parameters we're given. And then the other side, one of the legs is 2. We don't necessarily need to, it doesn't matter how we have these variables written. If it's, if this one's the 2 and then this one's x, it doesn't matter. What matters is that we just have 1 in one spot. And now, there we go, erase, we solve. So we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We'll have 4 squared is equal to 2 squared plus x squared. So x squared is x squared plus 4 equals 16. X squared is equal to 12. And so x equals the square root of 12. We type in that decimal equivalent, and that is our answer.